This is Kate Amber with Akusa. Today I want to share with you something that's going to sound a little shocking, but to those of us who work in the arena of gender-based violence, it is not at all surprising. A recent United Nations study found that almost 9 out of 10 people, both male and female, hold biases against women. Yes, you heard that right. 90% of people, male and female, hold prejudices against females. These prejudices affect how they view women's capabilities and rights. This isn't just about opinions. These biases are literally entrapping survivors in quicksand when they attempt to escape abuse through the family court system. Now, not all survivors, not all victims are female, and not all perpetrators are male. But when a female survivor of abuse has to face their male perpetrator in family court, they are also facing a system where judges often give more credibility to male witnesses and attorneys than they do to female witnesses and attorneys, where women's abuse claims are often dismissed or minimized. And most concerning, these biases often result in custody decisions that place both protective mothers and their children at risk. Using the quicksand model, we can see how these societal biases create the perfect storm. When 90% of people hold these biases and these prejudices, imagine how that affects the judge hearing your case, the custody evaluators assessing your family, and even your own attorney's expectations of success. This is why we're seeing protective mothers losing custody of their children to their abusers, why we're seeing women's testimonies discounted and discredited, and why we're seeing the coercion and control continue through the very systems meant to protect survivors. This isn't just about statistics. This is about the safety and the lives of real children. Before we can do anything to change this, we need to acknowledge that these biases exist. And then we need to systematically remove them from the system and provide transparency and accountability within these systems in order to protect everyone, their safety, their dignity, and their liberty moving forward. Follow me for more insights on coercive control and how we can transform these systems. Together, we can create real change.
I'm a severely alienated parent. How all of this started with my ex-abuser, my children's biological father, was severely abusive with domestic violence, child abuse, and post-separation abuse. I was denied legal protection through protection orders for me and my children. Despite all the evidence, Lynchburg and Bedford, Virginia magistrates denied me and my children protection. Later, I made an attempt to modify the custody visitation order to ask the judge to modify the order for their father to have supervised visits, and she denied it, thus continuing to put us in danger and continue the post-separation abuse. Post-separation abuse became so severe that I had to reach out to a family that I thought I could trust with my kids. My children's father then went to CPS with false allegations, filing a report. CPS opened up an investigation. Little did I know the CPS worker was actually friends with the future custodial parents of my children, thus having bias over the case, favoring the soon-to-be custodials. Not to mention, every single GAL that we have had also showed bias, which allowed him to get away with everything and also paved the way to give custody to this family that I thought I could trust. Being that the CPS worker and the custodials were friends, this started the beginning of the parental alienation. Our supervised visitation facilitator became the YWCA. I didn't even get a handful of visits in with my kids. After numerous excuses as to why I cannot have visits, they finally ended up dropping our case with giving no reason as to why. This paved a path to continued parental alienation by now the custodials of my children. They ended up blocking me everywhere. This alienation went on for years. Fast forward to our last custody hearing, the YWCA again is attempting to alienate me from my kid. The custodials are continuing to alienate me from my kids. I have only seen my children in person 3 times since 2018. That's 7 years, 7 birthdays, and countless numerous holidays missed. This parental alienation has destroyed not only my children, but me and our family. This has caused psychological, mental, and emotional and physical anguish and trauma. PTSD, CPTSD, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, heart problems, hair loss, weight gain, anger issues, suicidal ideation, and attempts from me and my children. At this recent hearing, despite the custodials admitting in court that the custodial father had choked my daughter and neglected my son so bad that he attempted to commit suicide, the judge still decided to keep sole custody with the custodials and give unsupervised visitations to the biological father just because he showed up. I only get supervised visitations. Nobody was able to prove I was an unfit mother. Preceding this video is not even half of the evidence that I have against everyone. Lynchburg and Bedford, Virginia magistrate, CPS worker in Lynchburg, Virginia, Danielle Smith, juvenile and domestic court relation judges in Lynchburg, Virginia, Judge Mary Driscoll and Judge H. Carrie Payne. Lynchburg, Virginia, GALs, Grady Donaldson, Rachel Weitzel, Philip Baker, our ex-abuser and my children's biological father, Brandon Muller, the custodial parents of my children, Russell and Aaron Burt. The supervised visitation coordinator at the YWCA of Central Virginia and Lynchburg, Virginia is Brenda Dunning. My name is Anna Smith. Me and my kids are victims of the Lynchburg City, Lynchburg District Courts in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I demand an investigation. assaulted me with a shotgun back in January. I'm at the Bedford Magistrate, Bedford, Virginia. Turns out I have to go to the Lynchburg Magistrate because that protective order was in Lynchburg. Because the judge wrote, I instigated him attacking me with a freaking shotgun. He fucking had a gun to my face. I just went to the Lynchburg Magistrate, and he tells me that that's not even a violation of the freaking protective order, and it is. He said it was on his Facebook page, so it's not viable as a violation. I was like, oh yeah? So he can pretty much put on Facebook how much he wants me to die, as much as he wants, right? So I told him, I said, you know what? I've been documenting all this, and when he comes after me, and when I die, I said, thanks for the help. This is how we die!
You have a choice to sit your ass down. You have a choice to sit your fucking ass down right now, or I will.
You have a gun in your hand, you're gonna shoot me?
No.
Yeah.
I like it though. It's a nice gun.
You stay away from my kids.
Yeah? What you gonna do about it?
Get that gun out of my face.
What you gonna do about it, huh?
Get the gun off of me!
Then get the fuck out, or you're gonna calm the shit down.
Stay away